First game shooting a lot of threes. They already have 4 attempts to start this game.
Indeed, a lot of green, the greenest of green lights for UST to heave up that three. Mantua will try, will miss. And that's going to be another foul. And that's going to be on Koji Buenaflor. Alugaye is showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the paint. Draws 2 fouls already against UST. And that's going to take us to a quick timeout for Coach Pido Harencio. A quick breather. We'll take a short break.
Itong part na to.
Si Vic Soto na ata ang pinakaswerteng tao sa Pilipinas. Kahit hindi niya alam, kahit hindi niya sinasadya. Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo. Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome!
And we are back here at the Playtime Filoil Center. Correction of the earlier call, that's going to be on Alugaye. So Koji Buenaflor having the better positioning on that rebounding play. Again, the score is still 3-0 in favor of UST with 7:42 remaining in our first quarter. Mark Liemit directing traffic. Osang did not want to use the screen. Danting. Osang will go straight to the basket. Kicks it out, stolen away by Agent Fransman.
Well, Peter Osang had nowhere to go there. Kaya naagaw ang bola ng Adamson.
Better defensive assignment for the Soaring Falcons, but they have yet to chalk one in the scoreboard. Mantua, he's had his chances. Fransman will try from 3. Will miss. Alugaya tracks the rebound. Run zone to Mantua. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Liemit smothering him on defense.
Oh, great defense.
3 seconds. Mantua gets away but will end up with a miss. Run zone with another offensive rebound. What about the rebounding for Adamson in the early goings of this
I would
game?
say it's the presence of Alugaye. Kasi I don't think anyone from UST can match up with him in terms of height.
And even the size. But really, an impressive presence of mind for Adamson. That was almost a wasted possession, but they still found a way to retain one. And finally, Royce Mantua hits a midi to get them on the board. Yemen, he's had the confidence with his forays in the off-season. Danting gives it back to Mark Liemit. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Osang with the screen. Liemit. One-hander. Osang would miss. Mantua with the rebound. Mantua gives it to Ronzon. Fransman. Manzano looking for a friend. Gives it back to Ronzon. 3 defenders against Ronzon. Leaves it to Fransman. Is he aware of the shot clock? 4 seconds. 2. And that will be a 24-second shot clock violation. Took too long of a time to make that play.
You have to love the defense of UST Growling Tigers. And if you can recall, in that the last possession of Adamson, nakawala lang si Royce Mantua, pero yung pressure defense si Mark Lemon causing disruptions dun sa offensive sense ng Adamson.
And you see here now, Coach Nash Racela deploying a different 5. Didn't really like how that starting 5 played for him.
Only producing 2 points in
Yeah.
the first 4 minutes of this game.
But also on the flip side, UST only 3 points, only 40 Padrigao getting on the board for them.
And speaking of offense, kaya siguro pinasok na si Earl Medina because he was the leading scorer for the Adamson Falcons in their last game.
Padrigao, though, will get fouled. So Medina picks up his first as he just checked in for the Soaring Falcons.
And we all know Earl Medina is a guy that can get you a lot of buckets.
How about this one? Koji with the floor finds Peter Osang down low. 5-2, still in favor of the Growling Tigers. Adamson looking for someone, a spark in this early going. Medina gets the screen from his former baby Falcon peer, Run Zone. Too strong on the three. Madrigal goes coast to coast, finds Danting in the corner. Short on that three.
That was a great look though for the UST Growling Tigers.
And here comes Adamson missing on the fast break. Liemit quick on the return, almost lost it. Liemit still finds a gap in the defense. And Mark Liemit bring his team up 7-2 with 4:28 to go. Padrigao saving that, almost a botched play, but Mark Liemit just quick on the cup. And this timeout is brought to you by PlayTime Cares.
All purpose boxing El General, matibay na dikitan El General, kahoy man ang bakal El General, kahit sa kompleto El General, pwedeng imasilya El General, kahit anong dikitan El General, El General, El General, all-purpose epoxy Boxing El General All-Purpose Epoxy, palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Adamson on the ropes early on. UST getting this 7-2 start with 4:28 to play. This is the PlayTime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup presented by ABC Tile Adhesive. Randall Biliangson together with Dino Lee bring you this UAAP group duel. And so far, the Growling Tigers have been tenacious on the court.
Causing a lot of problems nga dito sa offensive sets ng Adamson. Only 2 points. And forcing Coach Nash Rosella to bring in his second unit.
The PlayTime Cares elevating the next generation of Filipino athletes as Forsky Padrigao secures the steal. Liemit, half time, will draw a foul. And I got to give props to Mark Liemit. This is already his incoming 3rd year in UST, a homegrown stud from the Tiger Cups program and now thriving in the seniors program as he will take this free throw brought to you by ABC Tile Adhesives. Sigurado ka dito.
And showing here for in the second game of UST, Mark Liemit, is he ready for a much bigger role for them? And so far in this first period, he looks like he is.
He's had these moments last year talking about Mark Liemit, and as we just said, sinigurado ang unang free throw. So compounding the woes for Adamson.
But on the other side for Adamson, on coming out of a timeout, you get the turnover, you turn the ball over again.
Oh, nice block by Peter Osang on Jaira Tumanig. How about the UST play in this first quarter? Offense and defense just stout. Danting tries the three, wide to the left. And the guy that you're looking at is checking in. Jello is also together with Leland Estacio giving Koji for the floor and Ice Danting a quick breather on the bench. Adamson. How will they respond to this onslaught of UST? Austin Ronzone.
I think they're struggling with their execution. Credits to the defense of the UST Growling Tigers.
Tumanig will try to battle Osang, lost the ball. Forsky Padrigao would find a way to save the Leland Estacio, however, stolen away by Earl Medina. Medina tracks on zone in the corner. short on that one. And still, second chance points missed by Adamson. That's just painful if you're a Soaring Falcons fan.
1 out of 11 from the field. And then you have 4 turnovers. So not the best of starts for the Adamson Soaring Falcons.
And it's not like the chances aren't there. However, a missed three. Adamson struggling to find the bottom of the net, and Austin Razon continues to miss. Liemit finds Estacio open from the wing. Wide left. Matt Edding. Stolen away.
Another turnover, sloppy.
Jello Crisostomo, touchdown on the fast break.
Sloppy basketball on the part of the Adamson Soaring Falcons. They actually had a much better start against the DLSU Green Archers in their first game.
Medyo minadali ng konti yung fast break opportunity doon. Tumaneng. Ball will stay with the blue shirts as we take a look at the steal, this ABC Tile Adhesive fast break of the game, brought to you by Jello Crisostomo. Sinigurado ang fast break, and that is ABC Tile Adhesive fast break of the game. Sigurado ka dito.
Kung ako si Coach na sa Sela, I can accept yung miss shots kasi that will happen in a basketball game. But the 5 turnovers to start this first period, that's not a good sign.
This is a good sign though. Earl Medina faking out his defender and getting a score underneath. 10-4 in favor of UST with less than 2 minutes to play. Amiel Acido loses the handle. Here comes Adamson. 4-on-2 situation. And that's going to be free throws for the Soaring Falcons. So Renzo Competente getting his first look for Adamson, a transferee from FEU. Had a brief detour for UST, but feels like his home is now in San Marcelino. He'll have a chance for his first points as a member of Adamson, and he makes that first freebie.
Kahit nakarami na ng turnovers tong Adamson, the good news is you're just down 5 points.
Yeah, and I mean, despite those errors, you also have to point out yung shooting din naman kasi ng UST. 30% from the field. It's been an offensive struggle really for both teams as Renzo Competente made that free throw. 10-6 in favor of the Growling Tigers.
And we're also seeing for the first time for the UST Growling Tigers, more alaw suited up in this game.
Then Estacio loses the basketball. Competente to Sahir Sahili. Leaves it to Earl Medina. Goes to Jairo Tumaning inside. Battling against Michael Mara. Medina, nice fight to Jairo Tumaning. And that's going to be a foul on Jello Crisostomo. Only the 4th team foul for UST, but that's a shooting foul, so that's going to be 2 free throws for the rookie Jairo Tumaning.
You can kind of sense that Adamson has kind of settled down in this first period. Nung first couple of minutes of this game, they were kind of sloppy.
And I believe, Dino, you can also attribute this to the familiarity na kahit yung mga pinasok dito sa lobby, si Jairo Tumaning, Earl Medina, Sahir Sahili,
They're playing with each other.
yeah, the familiarity is, kumbaga, parang kailan lang, naglalaro din sila in the same court in the juniors, but now they're playing against their senior counterparts. Also, Manu Anabot checking in for the Soaring Falcons. Tumaning makes his free throw, trimming the lead down to 2. 67 seconds to play in our opening frame. Acido with the basketball. Crisostomo gives it back to Amiel. Inside to Michael Mara. Alaw is open in the corner, but Mara decides to take it by slows them inside.
Michael Mara, a transferee from the CSB Blazers. And playing his first game in this 18th Preseason Cup. He didn't suit up in their first game.
Indeed, his height is going to be very much handy for UST. However, Manu Anabo too crafty, but just too short on that drive. Alaw goes to Crisostomo. 2 men to beat and gets a friendly bounce.
He came off the bench in this first period, pero already 4 points for Jello Crisostomo, showing that he can also finish around the basket.
And that was a nice feed for Alao. Crisostomo doing an excellent job in finishing in traffic. And now we're seeing for the first time Kobe Demisana checking in for Adamson. So
And 2 seasons ago, Kobe Demisana was actually one of the highly recruited players.
Yeah, off UP integrated school, but didn't really find his footing in Ateneo. Now, Jello Crisostomo with the bonus free throw makes it so 5 points now for Jello Crisostomo, giving aside the 15-8 lead, 7-point advantage for UST. 2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Competente shoots the 3, misses. Crisostomo with a rebound. 5 seconds. Crisostomo takes it strong and goes on.
Going coast to coast itong si Jello Crisostomo. Nobody stopping him from Adamson. And that is a problem if you're Coach Nasasela.
And Jello Crisostomo propelling his team to the 17-8 lead as we take a look at the PlayTime Cares best plays of the quarter. Peter Osang getting things started. Mark Liemit also having his moments for the Growling Tigers. However, still a lot of fight from Adamson. Royce Mantua hitting that midi to break the ice for the Soaring Falcons, but Jello Crisostomo 7 points in this first quarter to help UST take the 17-8 lead after the first.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT, 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Second quarter here at the PlayTime Filoil Center. UAAP group action between UST Growling Tigers and Adamson Soaring Falcons. The boys from España taking this 9-point lead to open the second quarter. And Jello Crisostomo wants to add to his total. He has 9 in this game. Again, Randolph Villalson and Dino Lee delivering you this game. And Dino, what about Jello Crisostomo? He's just adding this offensive repertoire to his game. He's showing that he's just more than a garbage man, as cleaner for his side.
He came off the bench in this game, only played 4 minutes and already has 9 points. So making an instant impact itong si Jello Crisostomo, showing that it wasn't a fluke that he put up 17 points in that last game. Hindi pa kanya pinapakita yung outside shooting niya na nakita natin doon na 4.
However, that's gonna be the second personal foul for Jello Crisostomo. Nasobrahan ng konti sa energy as this is brought to you by PlayTime Cares, elevating the next generation of Filipino athletes. Play with purpose. Anabo finds a teammate. Medina in the corner, misses. Kobe Demisana muscles his way inside, too strong. Third try. He still has the basketball. 3 men gobbling up defense on him, but he turns the ball over. Nakita ata si Coach Romel ang double.
But doon kinuyog si Kobe Demisana ng white shirts.
Michael Mara finds a way. Second serving is good against Kobe Demisana and Michael Mara. He has 4 points in this contest in his first game for UST in the Premier Preseason League.
Well, Kobe Demisana was much taller than Michael Mara, pero bullying his way itong si Michael for those 2 points.
Sahili was short on that one, but that was stolen away by Manu Anabo. Gives it to Royce Mantua. 14-footer won't go down. Jello Crisostomo still on the floor despite having 2 fouls. So Coach Pito trusting Jello Crisostomo to protect his side despite being somewhat in foul trouble. Lost the basketball. Anabo, 2 versus 0, and that's touchdown for Manu Anabo.
And that's what you want if you're coach Rans Chasela kasi sa half-court set ninyo, hindi kayo makashoot eh. So, fast break is good for you.
Ang bilis ng balik ni Moralaw and hits the 3 to give his side a 24-10 lead. And again, despite the slow gains of Adamson, this 3-point shot is brought to you by Jangnan Hotpot. Hotpot ba? Jangnan na and Moralaw. Napapasarap ng higo para sa UST. They are up by 14.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Hindi umuulan.
Di mo tayo makakabenta!
Yes!
Don't worry! Be unleashed with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
El General All-Purpose Epoxy, palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
We are back here at the PlayTime Filoil Center for the PlayTime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup as the referees just reviewed some past exchange. Moralaw was called for an unsportsmanlike foul for what they were saying, a hit on Earl Medina. So this means 2 free throws plus possession for Adamson. Alaw already checking out, and Forsky Padrigao is back on the court. What did you see in that play, Dino?
It was coming from a rebound or a steal of Adamson, and they were in transition where they scored the layup. So, patakbo na rin si Earl Medina and sumalubong sa kanya si Moralaw. So, probably there was contact that was pretty much harder, excessive. That's why it was called an unsportsmanlike foul by the referees.
And you know the referees really want to get everything right. So Earl Medina getting his first points of the game, but he will check out, maybe to get checked out by the PTs of Adamson. So that trims the lead to 12 points, 24-12, still in favor of UST with exactly 8 minutes to play in our first half. Cadron zone, almost lost the handle. Franzman recovers. On zone. Tumantua, well defended by Carl Wanding. But nice find to Cedric Manzano. Was just too crafty underneath.
Well, when he's that deep inside the paint, it's gonna be an easy 2 for Cedric Manzano.
Especially when he got that running start. Charles Buxet though, immediate impact from the rookie. 3 points go down, and the lead is up to 13 points. And it's going to be a foul on Ivan Calum. And what about the 3-point shooting of UST in the first quarter, Dino?
Well, they're only 3 out of 10 itong UST Growling Tigers, but Charles Buxet, he hit 2 threes in their first game. Continuing that here in the second game for the UST Growling Tigers.
Nakita na natin yan in the UAAP Juniors with the Tiger Cubs, and now he's bringing that firepower in the seniors level. Cadron zone, nice find again to Cedric Manzano, who spins and scores. And what about this guy? Probably one of the most hard-working bigs in the country today, Cedric Manzano, just making his Romblon fellows proud. And that's the second 3 of the game for Charles Buxet.
Salang pala ang sagot para kay Coach Pido Carencio. Knocking down 2 straight 3-pointers itong si Charles Buxit.
And that's why he was recruited to the senior team. However, Royce Mantua getting the better of Ivan Calum on that exchange. And that's going to be a bonus for Royce Mantua. Let's take a look at that play once again. Royce Mantua just getting a better positioning against Ivan Calum.
After a struggle for the Adamson Soaring Falcons in this first half, they've stringed 3 straight possessions wherein they've made baskets, 2 from Cedric Manzano and then now for Royce Mantua.
And I really like how they're really trying to pound it down low. And because they understand that medyo may konting advantage ka. Peter Osang likes playing outside. And kumbaga Cedric Manzano napakadali ng buhay para sa kanya doon. It doesn't look really pretty, but he gets the job done.
Saka yung experience niya, dyan ang lamang sila, especially matching up against Akoji Buenaflor,
Yes.
who is just a rookie for the UST Growling Tigers.
Charles Buxit with a screen from Koji Buenaflor finds a gap blocked by Cedric Manzano. And here comes AJ Fransman against Charles Buxit, and they continue with this onslaught, drawing the foul on Charles Buxit, and AJ Fransman is going to the line, and somehow Adamson is conjuring points in a hurry.
They only scored 8 points in the first quarter, but now they're pouring it in here in the second with AJ Fransman in transition.
And you know, Dino, you were mentioning Jello Crisostomo earlier, adding that offensive facet of his game. How about AJ Fransman? He's more of a really an on-ball defender, and now he's really continuing to fine-tune his scoring ways. Turnover for Peter Osang. Fransman has the basketball. Ronzon. Mantua. They want to go to Cedric Manzano, but away from play. A foul will be called on Ivan Calum. So that's the fourth personal foul for Ivan Calum. And now he puts UST in penalty situation with 5:48 to go. So again, free throws favoring Adamson.
And they haven't missed any. They're 7 out of 7 from the free throw line, and they have a chance to make additional 2 here.
And you see in the USD bench, Coach Pido Carencio giving Ivan Calum an earful. Basically, parang sabi niya, nangmamasahe ka ba dyan?
Wala namang bago, di ba?
Yeah, but 4 fouls on Ivan Calum is gonna be tough to bring him back in. However, AJ Fransman making the most of his free throws. No commentators jigs here. 9 for 9 for Adamson.
Oh, I think he split his 2 free throws there for AJ Fransman.
Fortsky Padrigao back in the game. Swiped away by Kate Ronzon. Great effort. Amiel Acido recovers. The other Ronzon steals it. And Fransman could not finish. Charles Buxit tracks the rebound. Fortsky open for 3. No. And again, foul situation will go against Adamson. That will be against Cedric Manzano, only his second personal.
And that's their first team foul. So,
but what about the greenest of green lights for UST? Just a pull-up J from Fortsky Padrigao.
they're not gun shy in taking those threes. Itong UST Growling Tigers. We've seen that in their first game against the NU Bulldogs.
Zayn Mahmoud tries his luck from deep. No, too strong. The ball goes back to the blue shirts. Alugaye enters for Cedric Manzano. So Adamson slowly making headways thanks to AJ Fransman.
Along with Cedric Manzano and Royce Mantua in this second quarter.
Cadron zone. Shakes away Fortsky. Read that pass very much. And Fortsky overcooks that floater. Could only smile with that miss. AJ Fransman blocked by Peter Osang, but that's going to be a foul. So again, the foul situation has plagued UST in this game.
But you have to give credit to the Adamson players because of their aggressiveness, forcing the UST Growling Tigers players to foul them. And maaga pa lang penalty na itong UST and allowing Adamson to crawl back into this game.
And AJ Fransman misses on the first.
And ang maganda dito is when you foul, you stop the clock and you have a chance to cut down further sa lead with those free throws.
And more so, you're also adding to that rhythm. That's going to come in handy. AJ Fransman looking very much like the go-to guy that he was when he was with Enderun Colleges. Now in his second year with Adamson, and now the lead is down to just 6 points for UST. Liemit back in the game. Gives it to Fortsky. Madrigao gets the screen from Zane. Stolen away by Cadron Zone. And that's going to be the easiest 2 points for Cadron Zone.
Started with the defense coming from a pick and roll doubling si Fortsky Padrigao and forcing a turnover leading to that run zone layup.
And this is now just a 4-point game. This time I was brought to you by PlayTime Cares.
Hindi umuulan.
Hindi mo tayo makakabenta!
Yes!
Don't worry! Be unleashed with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ng Playtime. You're welcome!
And we are back here at the PlayTime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup, where Adamson is making a huge rally to cut what was once a dozen-point lead down to just 4. UST, though, still ahead 30-26. Good afternoon to everyone watching on pusop.com. Random Williamson and Tino Lee bringing you this game. Is UAAP group matchup. Second game for both of these teams. UST wanting win number 2. Meanwhile, Adamson wanting to bounce back from that loss against La Salle. Padrigao misses on the 3. Acido gets the offensive board. 10 on the shot clock. Fortsky directing traffic. Finds Koji in the corner. Buena floor. Too strong. Osang recovers, but only 1 second on the shot clock. That's going to be a violation for UST.
Great defense on the part of Adamson. Soaring Falcons challenging that shot coming from Koji Buenaflor.
So that's going to be something that UST has to learn in this preseason. We've seen that in their last game against NU where they really got up to a big start, but kumbaga, protecting the lead, that's going to be something of a learning for them. Cadron Zone against Liemit. Medina back in this game. Austin on zone has the basketball. Gaye looking for a friend, gives it to Cade. And again, another foul on UST, this time on Mark Liemit. Seems like Liemit was shaken up off that screen from Alu Gaye. So again, free throws.
Mukhang ramdam ni Mark Lemit yung tama niya doon as he was fighting through a screen. But hopefully he's okay. But mukhang okay naman siya. But the bad news is 2 free throws again for the Adamson Falcons.
Cade Ronzon on the line for 2. This brought to you by ABC Tile Adhesive. Sigurado ka dito and hindi na sigurado ni Cade Ronzon ang kanyang unang free throw.
This is their 13th and 14th free throw attempts for the Adamson Soaring Falcons.
Really a lot of charities being given up, but that's he settles for the split. 3 points for Cade Ronzon, just quality minutes from the Philem guard. The lead is down to 3. Liemit against Manu Anabo. Mark Liemit. When the floor provides the screen, Liemit got shot on baseline. That thing throws it away. Here comes AJ Fransman against Peter Osang. And Peter Osang gets a block.
Oh my goodness! No freeways for Peter Osang.
And now you are seeing the athleticism that they are talking about this kid. Peter Osang show us those hops.
That looked like an easy layup for AJ Fransman, but Peter Osang denies it.
Yeah, and we are gonna wait for the replay. That deserves a replay from direct Francis Opilio. But UST,
And those are the kind of plays that could turn things around for UST after this run of Adamson, cutting to the lead of the UST Growling Tigers.
indeed, that block should energize UST. However, that thing, too much energy on that corner three. Ronzon could not track that pass from Earl Medina. Babalik ang bola sa Growling Tigers with 2:55 to play in our first half.
UST is shooting much better than the Adamson Soaring Falcons. 42% sila, ang Adamson is 27%, but 11 turnovers for UST in this first half so far.
Indeed, and also the free throw has been just an eyesore for the Growling Tigers. Liemit against Anabo. And grabe yung kiskisan nitong dalawang team na to. Another foul. Zahir Sahili will be called. That was an away from play foul. Oji Buenaflor drawing that one.
And Adamson still has a foul to give.
Indeed, Koji almost loses the ball, and that's another foul on Zahir Sahili.
And the next foul will send UST to the free throw line. That's the last foul to give for Adamson.
Sorry, that last foul was called on Austin Ronzon dun sa help defense niya. Fortsky gives it to Koji, back to Padrigao, takes the three. Second three of the game for Fortsky Padrigao. Back to a 6-point lead for UST. Up and down we go. Earl Medina to Anabo. Ronzon, we know he has that three in his bag. Sahili thought about it. Having difficulty where to pass the ball to. Liemit tracks that steal. Liemit gets blocked by Sahili. Gaye. Inside is good. First 2 points for Anu Gaye. Buenaflor. Osang wants it. Padrigao against the other Ronzon. Gets distracted by Alu Gaye, and that's going to be another turnover for UST. Turnover number 12 for them, right?
Yes, but UST is challenging that out-of-bounds play. They felt it hit an Adamson player before it went out of bounds. So Coach Pido Harencio is challenging that.
And you know, I want to talk about that challenge, Dino. To use that challenge in the first half, it's an interesting point because I believe it's something that you should use to somehow wake up. And maybe Coach Pido feeling that they need this win, especially with how the second quarter has gone for UST.
Usually ginagamit yun end of game situations, but I think
and that's painful.
you lose your challenge which you could have used at the latter part of this game. But I feel kaya tinawag dun ni nag-challenge dun si Coach Pido Harencio is because he knows that Adamson is making a run. So parang that's one of the ways maybe to disrupt yung run ng Adamson.
Pamatay sunog kumbaga. Gaye against Osang inside. Manu Anabo fakes ice that thing. And look at this now. This is just a 2-point game. Padrigao against Austin Ronzon. Takes the three. Makes the three.
That's the 6-3 for the UST Growling Tigers. Tatlo doon galing kay Fortsky.
Indeed. Fortsky, Padrigao leading all scores for UST. as we take a look at this Jiangnan 3-point shot of the quarter brought to you by Jiangnan Hotpot. Hotpot ba? Jiangnan na.
And this is gonna be 2 free throws for Fortsky Padrigao because Adamson is already in the penalty.
So now, Fortsky Padrigao on the line. So kahit nag-fail yung challenge nila, it seems like it woke something out of UST as you take a look at the bench. Coach Pedro Arencio, Boss Wipe Cho, Boss Eric Ang, Assistant Coach Japs Kuan, also Coach Juno Soler there. And now Fortsky Padrigao with 11 points.
And they had an answer dun sa run ng Adamson Soaring Falcons.
Indeed, 8 of those coming. Second quarter, talking about Fortsky Padrigao. Final minute now in our first half. UST still up 38-31. Earl Medina still not able to get his 3 down. Anabado has the offensive board. Catron zone goes to Earl Medina. Back to Manu Anabo against Koji Buenaflor. Too strong on that jumper. Fortsky, like the veteran that he is, directing the offense for UST. 7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. 7 on the shot clock. Padrigao still has the basketball, takes a 3. Too strong. Buenaflor, no. Osang recovers. Koji beats the buzzer. And what a rally for UST late in the second. Anabo, Hail Mary, won't go down, and that will take us to our halftime break. UST riding that superb rally from Fortsky Padrigao, still ahead by 9 points. You see there, 3-pointers from Charles Buxit. But Royce Mantua making things happen with Cedric Manzano in this PlayTime Cares. Best plays of the quarter. AJ Fransman nagpaparamdam na rin into the second quarter, but Fortsky Padrigao just shooting the lights out for UST. Again, the Growling Tigers are up by 9. Halftime here at the PlayTime Filoil Center.
Sa ABC sigurado ka, sa dikitan di ka papalya. Sa ABC sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa